namaskar, and welcome to GG Delhi NCR platform. We are always trying to bring you interesting, exciting, fun learning sessions, and today is one more of those. Last time when we met, which was just last week, in fact, we talked about prompts. How do we use prompts? Because everyone is talking about artificial intelligence, and it's important to know what to ask AI. So, continuing with that spirit, we are trying to again bring another interesting session today where we are going to be talking about the use of AI, but in another interesting product. So, by the title of our session, I guess you already know what we are going to be talking about. But before we bring a special, very, very special guest to our stage, let's start with again our introduction and just taking a moment to think about what exactly GEG means, just in case you're joining us for the very first time. So, Google Educators Group is a group of educators like you and me who are just enthusiastic, passionate, excited about using technology. Of course, Google Apps and Google Workspace definitely, but we are also looking to explore other ways to make our classroom engaging and fun. And of course, giving our students to be digital citizens. Uh, Over the last 4 years, we have brought you many sessions. In fact, today only I was looking at our YouTube channel, and Sanchita, we have around 175 videos there. So that is, how we have worked in the last 4 years, and today's is going to be another interesting session going on our channel, which would let you learn anytime you want. So that's the beauty of having some platform like this, where we bring people like us who are excited about sharing and try to make learning more interesting. So, of course, in case you have not met me earlier, I'm Sangeeta Gulati. I'm the leader of GG Delhi NCR, and along with me, I have other captains, and of course, they are co leaders or leaders as good as I would be. So, I have Sanchita and I have Rupali, and of course, we have a fourth member who is right now somewhere in the hills, but she might join us on YouTube and help us engage you or answer your questions as we go along. So, Sanchita, a quick word from you. How excited are you about today's session?
Thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am. When you mentioned 175 videos on our YouTube channel, and if I go back and think to those videos, not too many of those videos are outdated. Maybe some of those sessions that we had on, edtech tools which have kind of been killed. Jamboard being one of them. I used to love Jamboard. But most of our videos, if you look back over the almost 5 years that we've been around now, there's definitely something to take away from there. Of course, all of the edtech tools that we've represented and talked about on our channel, they were all grown, most of them, unless, of course, you know where my pain point lies. But they've developed, and we have made an attempt to update the knowledge about those tools, how to use them in the classroom with our community on a very regular basis. And we are so happy that people from around the world. I'd also like to welcome Mel here. She's been on our channel a bunch of times, and
Yes.
she's walked us through some of the most amazing features of some of our favorite edtech tools, like quizzes, for example. And she's really shown us some of the lesser known features and some quick hacks on how we can go ahead and continue to use edtech. I know there was a point where we had reached a lot of fatigue when it came to technology. This is when we were all coming back to school after the lockdown. Children often did not have devices in the classrooms, and a lot of us felt lost. Did happen to me as well. I felt a little lost. That okay, now what? But over the years, I think all of these edtech companies have looked and relooked at their tools, listened to educators from around the world, and they've made these changes and modifications in their tools as well. They made them more powerful and more accessible to people. Even if all of the children in your classroom do not have one-on-one devices, there are still ways that we can continue to use edtech and enrich our own learning as well as students' own learning experiences in the classroom as well. So I think that has been a very interesting journey so far. And we are so happy to be talking about Canva today. And Canva Sheets and Code is pretty new on the block, and some awesome stuff can be done with that. So I'm really looking forward to what can be done with Canva Sheets and Code. I know Rupali is our Sheets queen, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Rupali learns today and what then she teaches us,
And then what
and
she
what she takes
creates
back to
with
her
it.
classroom. Yeah, what she takes back to her classroom. That's very
But
interesting to
before
see
we
Rupali.
go to Rupali, since Mel is here, I need to just give a shout out to Mel. She's just taken over as the leader of GG Malawi. So that is something great, because the way that she's been volunteering and being participating, stepping up, stepping out of her comfort zone most of the times, as she would claim. She's been doing amazing work with her educators and with the educator community, and now she's leading GEG Malawi. So we are going to look out and out for the sessions coming from GEG Malawi. And yes, we are there to help you out in case you do need any kind of work from or support from us. Yes, Rupali, over to you.
Yeah, welcome, Mel. Super excited to see you in the audience. And yeah, hello all. I'm Learn Captain GG Delhi NCR. I'm Rupali Arora. And yes, as Sanchita said, I am very, very excited whenever something is related to data analyzation or data visualization and all that. And today we have such an enriching session coming up, and that too during summer vacations, because this is the time I think all the educators will have a lot of time to work upon their professional development. And we have such an amazing presenter today, Neha Bhuguna. So, Sangeeta
Yeah,
ma'am, let's
I
welcome
think,
her, because I'm
yes, I
sure
think
she
it's
has
time to
lots to
bring her to
share.
the stage.
Ah,
Yeah. So yes, bringing our special guest to the stage, Neha Bhuguna. Welcome. Absolutely pleasure to have you here. I've been in touch with her, seen her, energy, the bundle of energy that she is spreading, so much positive energy with the people that she work with. But definitely she is absolutely a distinguished expert, teacher trainer with over 18 years of experience. She's a Canva Teacher Ambassador. And the power of being just not as a Canva ambassador, but otherwise being the person she is, she finds ways, new ways, innovative ways for integrating design thinking and making sure that this creativity goes into her classroom as well. Just to name a few of the achievements, because it's always good, to celebrate our co-teachers and our presenters. So just to read out few of the distinguished achievements, her contributions extend to national level teacher training for SCRT and CBSC. And her work has also been featured on Nishta portal as well as the Center portal. She is currently serving as the assessment center head at Army Public School, Shankar Vihar, and is also a school innovation ambassador. As a trainer, she's been, as I said, I've seen her posts on LinkedIn. Do connect with her, find her on LinkedIn. She shares amazing work being done there. But you also see her contributing a lot to the CBSE, the various capacity building programs. But she also have the distinguished achievement of being the first educator to record an e-lesson at the new CBSE. COE East has a new studio that came up last year, and Neha was the first educator who recorded a lesson there. So it's also available on, I think, PME Vidya channel, right? So she's done a lot, and she's continuing to do a lot. And I'm going to be, and she's of course a maths teacher as well. I don't know why I did not say that. She's a maths educator to top it all. So there is so much that she covers, a broad spectrum of achievements as well as the talent. So definitely looking forward to what you bring to us today. And yes, it is going to be all about Canva. So over to you, and If you would want to start off with a few words, anything that I missed out, please add in, uh, in your introduction. So all yours now.
Good evening, GEG group. And what ma'am missed out is just that I'm ma'am's biggest fan. And when she asked me, will you do this session? Though I was on my vacation, I said, definitely, I can't say no to you. So I'm very, very thrilled to be here today. And it's even more exciting that you mentioned that the previous session that the GEG group held was on prompts. So we are going to take that prompting to a different level, use it with design thinking, add Canva into the mix. So now this is design and the prompts and the AI being put together today. So very, very excited and ready to go, ma'am.
All
I
right.
request you. So, how we are
Sure.
going to proceed with the session would be we'll go through the features, the two main features like Rupali ma'am and Sanchita ma'am added, Canva sheets and Canva coding. So, we'll go through them so that everybody is in touch with, in tune with what exactly these two are. And then towards the end, in between also, we'll do certain hands on, we'll see certain uh, demos which are already pre-recorded so that the time 1 hour is too less for something like Canva. So we'll try to put in as much as we can today, and we'll keep the question answer flowing even after the session. So yeah,
Oh,
very excited because this is exciting territory, expanding the classroom toolkit beyond the traditional posters. So wonderful topic suggested by ma'am herself. So imagine bringing a bit of magic into your teaching methods by combining the design expertise of Canva, which the world over has been talking about for years now, and combining it with the AI prowess, which we are all trying to, master. So today's our session objectives will be twofold. We will be working with coding and design thinking through Canva's latest feature, which is Canva Code. And secondly, we will try to build in and co-create something different with a very interesting version of spreadsheets, which are called Canva sheets. So these are our two basic objectives. Since we're just starting with the newest ones, we'll try and just go through them, look at some educational, say, cases where we feel we can use. And, it is like a something which is so open, so wide for all of you to master, practice, innovate. So I'm sure we will have to invite many more people to share how they are using these tools after the session today. So let's just get into it and see what are the possibilities that we have. So what exactly does Canva code mean? So it is simply an innovative solution that uses simple text prompts and some visual tools to simplify the coding process. So instead of writing the traditional code manually, which I as a maths teacher cannot do, and I fear even trying and asking my kids how they did the coding because I won't understand a thing. So Canva is there to help me. So it is designed to be accessible to everyone. So whether we teachers like us, educators, and even for our students, our learners. So this is how we are going to work with Canva Code. And yeah, let's see, ma'am. Next slide. So Canva Code, we can use it for multiple ways, but educational cases, if we start laying out and listing out, the first is an interactive website, because creating a website is so exciting for the students. It's like they have moved from a student world to a professional world. So Canva lets them use coding and design an interactive website where they can use it to build personal portfolios, which is just a fantastic way to showcase their skills, their classroom achievements, their learnings. They can even create subject reports, digital posters, and put them in a visually engaging manner and create an interactive website which is all about what they have learned. So, a website not to sell things or not to approach, but to tell them about their learning, which is a portfolio. Next, Digital games. Who doesn't love games? And if the teachers can create the gaming world, they won't realize that they are learning. So teachers can craft a lot of memory cards, the drag and drop quizzes in a gamified manner. So they will not only be educational, but they will be a fun way to reinforce the concepts. And additionally, we can create story based choices also. We are going to look at these examples towards as we move on. So this can allow the students to explore the different learning outcome also, and even engage in critical thinking. What else can we do? Just imagine turning the stories into visual experiences. This is what visual storytelling pages can do, because they can help us transform the narratives, which, the podcast kind narrative or a video recording, even those can be translated and transformed into scrollable, illustrated digital journeys. They could be animated, we could even have a realistic sense to them. And curriculum linked presentations are definitely the high for educators with Canva. And the Canva coding just gives us more power to work with those and add more features to it, give it more dynamism and interactivity. So, moving on from the possibilities, let's just quickly see how it works. Because, see, even as educators, as humans, if we understand how things work and why it works, then we are a little encouraged to try it out. So, we'll quickly go through it. So, what students or us, whatever the user does is, there are just natural language prompts. Just like you will put a prompt in Gemini, which was one of the sessions last time, and Chat GPT, and when it was called Bard and the other softwares, just like we put a natural language prompt, that same thing we do with Canva code, and it auto generates the design structure. But this is not all. We should never be satisfied with what AI gives us. So though it will use HTML and all the the coding technicalities, but that's not exactly what we are here for as Canva lovers. The strength is that we can edit, customize, and explore the output that Canva code generates visually. And this means that users don't need to be programming experts, but we can still create professional looking designs. And since we can customize, this makes this entire process very interactive and user friendly, and there's a lot of expression and creativity that we can put into it. So yeah, so moving on, let's quickly do a little demo. Ma'am, with your permission, may I share my screen and just give a little hands-on for our audience? Okay, thank you. So I'll go to my share screen. Mm, just give me a little help to ensure that it's all visible. We will not need the audio, but just a minute. Not audible yet? Oh, not visible?
Not yet.
No, Neha, we are not able to. Yeah, it's coming on now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay. So ideally, everybody should be working with their laptops and trying their hands on Canva, because just knowing what it can do doesn't serve the purpose if we can't make it do for us. So this is how the homepage looks now. And we can't miss this new, which has already been written here, Canva AI. So just click on Canva AI, and it gives us four options. Either we can use the AI to design all that we were already doing: posters, worksheets, infographics, videos, whatever we were already creating also has an AI touch. Images, the images which don't really exist, the bringing your imagination alive. So this is where it comes. Document drafting, again a little AI magic, but what is going to work with us is this code for me. So just click on the code for me, and our hands-on demo is to just create a page about ourselves. So though I'm sure all of you are masters at giving prompts, I suggest that all of you just try, give a prompt here, and just let Canva AI do its magic. So I'll write something like, please design um, a page, PA, for me talking about my, I'm sorry, I have a little error with my A. So talking about myself, I'll just give a very, very kiddish prompt and let's see what it does. So design a page for me talking about myself and help me use it to introduce my learning, and up to you. Whatever prompt you give, for now, just give the prompt and we will just let it do the coding. So the strength is that though it takes time because it's actually going to code, if you have never seen Canva coding done, see, so since I did not mention anything, just notice, though the coding is taking place, so the student gets to know, if a student is doing this activity, they get to know that they just can't write anything and get the output. Since we are creating a personal introduction page, so it will give us a template kind of a thing. And then there are certain clarifying questions that we need. So my name and what will you like to be called on this page? What are your achievements? And what kind of a design that you would like? So there is an inbuilt connection to the 21st century skills when we work in an environment like this. Yeah, because it is not that we will get everything on a platter. We are going to work, so this is co-creating. So I let it be, and we will see what it creates. Then we will work on customizing it. And the demo was given so that all of you can start putting in some of the learnings that we are going to do. So this is a non-educational demo that we did. So it is very, very basic, just so that you see the power that Canva code has. And it is actually coding using the HTML and the CSL and the technical aspects. So as the students and the educators move from, say, the lower level to the higher level, they will start understanding how the design works with the coding process too. So that is another highlight in our NEP 2020. Coding is an inherent part. So we are going to see how it helps with coding. So I'll stop sharing my screen, ma'am, and let's go back to the presentation. So meanwhile, all of you can put Canva code to work and let's see what it creates. And for educators here, see, the best part is you can write some code, go cook your sabji, cut your vegetable, fold your laundry, get back and see what it has created. You don't like it, give it 5 more things to do, go and do your work and get back and check it again. Because we educators are doing so much today. Just the fact that every Saturday, every weekend, the GEG group is meeting, finding solutions to new age problems, even to situations which haven't yet come across. We haven't even yet come across. We are preparing ourselves. So we need people who can help us. And this is what Canva AI is doing. So let's move on from the hands on and feel free to, it's like a genie in the bottle. It is up to you. जितना मांग सकते हो मांगो, सब देता है Canva AI. Okay, a very important point to understand is uh, the first question that I asked as a Canva teacher when I got to know of this product during our beta testing process was, the students are not learning coding. They are just writing something in English, plain English, which doesn't even make sense. Just like you saw that my prompt was not at all an expert prompt. It was very, very arbitrary. There was nothing that I offered. But then why use Canva code? If the students are not learning coding, if they're not even learning how to give a good prompt, why do it? So, see, the answers that I got were varied, but as an educator, what I've understood is, first thing is, it is a bridge between the creativity that Canva offers, the expert design, aesthetic profile that we have, and the technology is there. So, it's a very, very basic bridge. So, but the best part is that students and teachers like me, we can start creating something with simple prompts, even though we have no coding. But though we don't learn any coding, but naturally we will absorb the core coding concepts like some structure, the layout, the logic, and how it is flowing, how design flows in a sequential manner. And this they can do through hands on design. Secondly, how the bridge happens is they are they're able to express their unique ideas and creativity through digital platforms. So some kids will always feel hesitant in communication. This is like a helping hand to them also. At least try. So start trying, and then we work and edit the product that we get by offering more prompts, more information. This aids the critical thinking process and the problem solving nature that we require with our 21st century skills. So, it is this critical thinking and collaboration and communication that Canva coding is working on directly. And coding, learning to code, is a natural process which will take time. So the positive aspect is a class 3 kid can also try it. So you don't need coding, but you will learn to code eventually. So this low barrier entry to coding is what will help a country like us to work on having coding as a key part of our NEP 2020 portfolio that we want to achieve. And yes, we are going to create future ready citizens, and the students definitely feel that their voice and their choice is being valued because they are the ones giving the prompts. So there is so much ownership in learning which the students get. So this is how I felt after working with Canva Code, and I'm really waiting the schools to reopen so that I can introduce it with my students, and we can do something interesting. So let's move on and see how exactly we can work with it by taking an example exactly from the classroom. So I've created an interactive story about freedom fighters, and Sangeeta ma'am did ask me you should tell us the prompt. But I'm sure after seeing the way I give prompts, she will say you have missed our learning to give the prompt session. You should go back and learn it. So it takes some time. You have to work with your prompts and you have to come up with something that works for you. So even though I am a maths educator, I tried to create an interactive story about the freedom struggle. So instead of learning how everything happened or creating a timeline only, I felt that some students who are visual and auditory learners would engage more with this. So, Sangeeta ma'am, please feel free, show us how to play with it. So, it starts by talking about the beginning of a movement, and there is interactivity built in even within the story. That if this happened, then what would happen? So, if Ahimsa wasn't there, so kids would like to create, agar wahan pe Gandhi ji nahi hote, or if my teacher was there, then what she would have done. So, there's no end to their visualization because there is a little help being provided. So this is what I created, and again, it's totally free. We just need to keep working and bring our creativity into picture, and the coding will help us. So joining the Quit India movement, then what happened? So the entire story is being put there. I did not add a lot of images, but that is the prompt that we give. So if we add the images, uh,
Yeah, very interesting. And all of these are kind of going from step one to step two as a story. Um, and it's again letting the student interact with it. And
so
you
that's
can
the
then,
idea.
yeah, very
Yeah.
interesting, very nice. And you can then start over as well. So in
And they
case,
can
student,
change, they
yeah,
can work with the different ones. So
yes,
basically, different groups of students can create it differently and share so that the others share their feedback over what their story looks like. They can
yeah,
completely change history now. They can
yeah,
always give those possible situations which could have been created. This also gives the students a chance to answer some of the questions which they always asked but never have the answer for. So maybe they would like to give an answer to this. And I'm sure the English teachers would have, got that hint that I want to use it because the why did the character do this and what if the character was like that? Those could be built in so beautifully and so easily, and it will be in a visually engaging manner. So that was one. Sangeeta ma'am, let's have a look at the second example also.
Yes, and as I do that, there was again, I think Vinti ma'am missed it that yes, it was created by Canva code only. Am
Yeah,
I correct?
yes,
Yeah.
we will just create
Yes.
it also. But
Yeah.
the giving the prompts and editing it is up to us. We can keep
Yes.
working on it. Like
What
I
you
was
want.
trying to. Yeah, this is Rivers of India quiz. So it's a quiz. I started by giving a very simple prompt that I need an interactive quiz on the
Hmm.
rivers of India, and it gave me 10, 12 questions. So that was it, and the score was also being maintained because that's how I had given the prompt. But then I didn't enjoy it in a quiz environment. So I said put in terms of north, south, west. So without trying to force the student to learn that these rivers are in the northern part of the country and some of them flow from north to east and east to anywhere else. I'm very bad at social science also. I'm bad at
Yeah.
most of the things. That's why I became a teacher so that I can keep working and keep learning. So I
So
just had to give lot of prompts.
yeah, and it gives you only 10 seconds to answer. So somebody has to help us. Here I have now selected, again, I'm going to go back and show you what I did. So the game is very interactive. There are four regions here you can choose, and it also gives you the instructions for how to play, right? So if you go back here, if I choose North India and it shows this, and then you have 10 seconds to answer. So I just, accidentally or otherwise, maybe I clicked on, well, now I've
Right.
clicked on Ganges. So it gave me a prompt, immediate feedback as well. Very nice.
That time thing I have added, after multiple prompts just to make it competitive because that's how my students enjoy, doing something. So,
Yeah.
and if you noticed in the first cover page, the map of India is not exactly what we want. So
Hmm.
when I edit, then I should have been able to add a picture of the Indian map and then it
Hmm.
would work. But since I was traveling, so I didn't download it. But I'm sure the social science teachers have everything ready in their system. So it is just like drag and drop those images. So
Hmm.
we are trying to teach them lot of things without actually teaching them. That's the whole
Exactly.
aim. So it's all hidden and it
Yeah.
is just prompts. So you
Hmm.
keep and since I wasn't working on maths because whenever I give maths examples, half of the audience just leaves. So I give examples from social science, English, and other interesting
Neha,
things.
I have one
Yeah.
query here. How can I mean, is there a possibility to embed it somewhere? Can I
Where do
put
you
it
want
in
to
Google
embed it?
Classroom or my website, or can I embed it anywhere?
100% probability to embed.
Wow, that's
So let
amazing.
Sangeeta ma'am, may I take a minute to take the presentation right once?
That would be another game changer. I mean, if my website
Or
can become
Rupali
more
ma'am, we can do it
interactive like
towards
this.
the end,
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
way
of
you
course.
say.
Of course. As per
Sure, sure.
your convenience. Yeah.
Not a problem. I think this changing over might waste our time,
No
so
problem. No
we'll
problem.
go through
Get
it and we'll get back.
yeah,
The strength is this, like this link I have embedded in this Canva presentation, so that same link you can embed anywhere you want, in the
wow.
video, in a
Amazing.
worksheet, wherever you wish. It is just adding the link and downloading it the way you want. I created a public view link. So, like now, Sangeeta ma'am has visited this link. When I see it again, I will see the number of visitors also. So, the idea is if my students get this and 10 of them use it, I will know that only 10 have done. And it is not that the 11th person can come and say, मैंने भी किया है ma'am, because I already know nahi kiya hai, because I can see the students who log in and access it. So the visitor details are also there as the owner, because when I create it, I then put it in a Canva, any presentation, document, or I post it on my website. So everything works. We'll quickly
Awesome.
have a look
Awesome.
towards the end.
Yeah.
So let's take another look at an exact example now. Like if you want to give the prompts and you want to understand how you can go into the classroom and do it. So I just added this very simple example of building a mini website about just a planet. So it's like a middle school level science project, and we'll use Canva code, and we are trying to create an interactive web page, and we are going to present some research. So it is not that we'll ask Canva code to give us a a long list of what all things the planet has, which used to be what we were doing in our projects before we started using Canva for education. So let's move on to the next slide, ma'am. So the exact instructions, I think. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am is muted.
Was on
Yeah,
mute.
ma'am.
Sorry, I was on mute. So I thought, Neha, if you allow me for a minute, I'll just quickly show you, what I had created once,
Oh,
and because that
lovely.
will give you, teachers an idea as to, how simple it can be and
Hmm.
how complicated, because your examples were very elaborate. So a lot of us, use flashcards in teaching, right, in our classroom. So I just, when I was playing with it, because that's what you do, you first play, right? So if I am looking at, I think I've shared this. So there is a basic, like if you're revising a topic, being a maths teacher. So if I've just asked Canva code to create a flashcard, on review of the chapter permutations, and this is what I got. So if I just put it on a present mode, you can actually see how it would work. So you have, a question, and then the students can be asked to answer. And if you want to just check what your answer is or show them the answer, at the back the answer comes up. That's as simple as it goes. So
I
it was
love the
just
visual
a minute.
explanation.
And look at the example, it gave a
Yeah,
visual explanation. Everything coded, nothing,
yeah.
I didn't do
It's
anything.
it's all it's convincing for the students also.
And it gives teachers an opportunity,
Hmm.
if you want to just explain, that explanation is also very much
Correct, correct.
stitched in. So you're looking at permutations with repetition kind of questions. So again, you can ask what level you are teaching and where you want a question
Right.
on circular, but you want to have the answer or explanation, there is an answer at the back as well. So sky is the limit as I look at it.
Definitely.
There are, you can go extremely, complicated, or you can just stay simple to start with. So if
Hmm.
you're doing it right now, this is for our audience. If you're watching us right now or watching the recording later, just give a very simple code of create an interactive flashcard on this topic for this class and see what happens. We would like to see, what you come up with. Sorry if I've taken your time, but taking you back to your screen now.
No, no, that was fantastic. And I would just like the audience to know that Sangeeta ma'am did not write down those answers. She just
No.
added in the prompt that
Yeah.
please give me the answers. And because Canva is not no longer just a design tool,
Yeah.
the strength of the AI accessibility and the AI interface it is working on, the content and the solutions are being taken from genuine sources. So sometimes, as teachers, when we sit down and create a worksheet, we copy paste from everywhere. Sometimes the answers are even wrong. And when we give the students, okay, ma'am has a question, I can use ready made quizzes. Canva already has got ready made quizzes. And while you are creating a presentation, also, nothing to do with Canva coding, there is a quiz component built in Canva. It was introduced last year itself. Since today we were only talking about the AI tools, so we are concentrating on these two. But quizzing is in generally put in the entire portfolio from last time also. So while you create a presentation or you're showing, you can even do a live quiz there. So you just put a quiz. You have taught 5 slides. It will create a quiz based on the content of those 5 slides. And if you use Magic Write, you can complicate your quiz also. So good, Sangeeta ma'am. Good, you saved me. Otherwise, everybody would have said बहुत ही difficult बता रही थी वो हमें कुछ नहीं आया. Thank God you came in and told them it is possible to do in multiple ways. But since I'm not a social science teacher, so I was just being very, very wild with my prompts and I was playing with them. But this one is very easy. So I've broken it down into steps, and to get an understanding of how students are learning, how they are also being empowered. And it is not that we're just creating a product. So see, the step one is planning the website. So you just ask the students to think about how a website should look like, so they will come up on their own. Like, if you noticed, when I gave the prompt to the code and I said create something about myself, so it came up and said, I don't know you. Please tell me about yourself so that I can add. So, similarly, the students will sit down and discuss in their groups that what exactly do we want as part of the research, instead of going to the Google and getting, 1,000 words on researched work on a planet, which makes no sense. So, they will think of what the intro should be and what are the facts that I need to add, and whether I want a quiz or I want some fun facts. The kids can go on and on. Some kids would love to create a game right there in the website for you to go and play and see how the planets move. It's endless actually. So, the step two would be, once they have a little idea of what they want, then the students can type in their prompt at the Canva code right at the home page where we were showing. So, they create a fun website with a dark background. So, see, the power of design is also there. So, since we were working about space, so Mars will look good when we have a dark background. So, even this minute detail, it's an add-on. It's a creative add-on. They need to think more. So, there's add a heading and put three sections, put an overview, put facts, make a photo gallery. So, this is what the students are typing. So, students work better with the prompt. And once we get some output, we have to refine the design, because we should never be satisfied with what we get from AI. We have to give it our human touch. So do encourage your students to check what Canva code generates, and maybe the image gallery isn't sufficient enough. Maybe they are not happy with the images, so they can definitely go on Google and get some images, or they can ask Canva to create an image for them. That is a possibility too. And they can just set up how things look by giving different prompts and refining the code. Yeah. So next, after the step three, they can update the prompt like this. So you make the fact session into 3 bullet points. Instead of a paragraph, just give me 3 points and add a fun fact. So notice what we have done. We did the problem solving by making the student understand the step one, step two, step three. And we are working on communication skills when we are talking of prompts and revising the prompts. And then we are also doing debugging, because once you get an output and you try to judge, critically analyze and say, no, this is not right, I don't want this, I want it like that. This is what all critical thinking is all about. So they are doing debugging, and then they are using iteration to get to what makes them really feel pleased at the moment. And once you start working with this, you will realize, as part of human nature, that you're not easily satisfied. So you will always try to add two things more. Like like ma'am said, it was looking very very complicated, that river thing. So while I was traveling all along the coastal line looking at the sea and the rivers, I got the idea I should talk about rivers, of India, because I was learning about them. So I kept on reviewing it and saying, no, no, I don't want you to give me 10 questions. Give me about different parts of the country. So I started with that. Then I thought, how can we divide the country? So dividing it into so many states would be cumbersome. So I thought, let's just do 4 parts, which makes a little sense. At least they will have a estimated idea of where each river is, if not exactly there. So that is how you work with it. You won't be so easily satisfied, and that's the idea. That is why we are all self improving. And then they can add interactivity. There are clickable buttons that opens the quiz. Like in the interactive story, they were all interactive buttons which took the story to a different level, and there was a different episode built in. So this is very very simple, and I put this from the point of view of a student. So exactly, as we move into the classroom, we can have our students start working on this with us. And the best way as educators to learn is to work with the students. अब घर में सब कुछ छोड़ के बैठ के we will never be able to do this, because we get discouraged also when we have those errors. But when you are working with students and you will say, I was doing this, it didn't happen, they will run up and tell you, ma'am, aise hota hai, let me show you. And this is exactly what we want. Yeah. So we have to bring this part to our classes. Okay. So let's move on to our next slide. So yeah, a lot of learning outcomes here. And these are not just curriculum oriented. What we were working on with the sequencing of the steps, which is a real life skill, the logical structuring, and it does so much to the brain. So cognitive research is a key part of how Canva has been working on all the features till now. And the basic interaction logic makes it very, very communicative, which is essentially what we want. Also notice that we were thinking in terms of the modular components. We were thinking of exactly how it looks, the color, the design, the font, the size. So the inclusivity that we talk about, the accessibility that we all hope for in our platforms and digital tools, this is exactly what students can do it, because they are our future designers. So we are developing our coders and designers to work on that. This is what design thinking actually inherently is, working and improving on your design. Okay, I think we are good to go with the Canva code, and we'll move to our Canva sheets, and Rupali ma'am will be more excited now. Yes. So Sangeeta ma'am, should we go on or we take any questions for the Canva code?
Yeah, I think we can continue with Canvas sheets, and then at the end, in case there is any question that we spot in the chat, and this is again for our live audience, do put in your queries in the chat and we'll definitely address them at the end. But you know what? I was very tempted to do here when you said Canvas sheets is, the my favorite shortcuts
Awesome.
are for Canva to bring in, all the drum rolls and
Yeah,
confetti.
wonderful. Yeah,
Super fun, Sangeeta ma'am.
definitely. Thank you so
So,
much, Sangeeta ma'am.
so just thought of using some tricks of Canva, just in case again you don't know those shortcuts. Please look out for them. They're amazing. I love those keyboard shortcuts for Canva. So yeah, go ahead. Let's learn about Canva sheets.
Okay. Again, Canva sheets, AI generated spreadsheets. So they make the data, which Rupali ma'am loves, but I, even being a maths teacher, don't enjoy data so much. I'm happy with, social science stories and images. So that's why I got into Canva. So that, there's more that I have from maths. So what Canva sheets does it uses the power of spreadsheets, but it builds in the design element of Canva. So it is built for visual storytelling. But now you would ask, why would you want your data to tell a story? Data is exactly to tell us a story. The problem is the nature of data, the way it is presented in spreadsheets, is such that there is no story that we get from it. And we leave it to the data analysts to understand the data and give us the insight. And though the teachers take so many formative assessment, summative assessment, so many record keeping that we do, but we do not enjoy and we do not realize that we have got an enormous power with us in terms of the data. So what we'll try to do is we'll use Canva sheets and bring some element of humanity to the data that we have, so that all of us can do something with the data. Yeah. So first of all, just like spreadsheets, Canva sheets are also great for keeping some track or planning or organizing some stuff or even presenting. But the best part is that it doesn't work like a spreadsheet, which, if you've tried to add a spreadsheet to a PowerPoint, you will see it doesn't look good at all. And we hardly put data in our presentations. So, I also try to do some action research with my students. So when we do action research, we need data, because research is all about data. Otherwise, it's all opinions. My point of view, your point of view. So data has a lot of power. So when we work with that kind of data, and I try to put my Excel data graph into the presentation, though I was able to insert, but it wasn't fun and it was very cumbersome. So the biggest strength that Canva Sheets offers us is that it is fully integrated with all the Canva tools. You want to put it in your presentation, you can do it. Document, website, poster, infographic, wherever you want to put these Canva elements, they are all free. It is like a big joint family and they have great fun together. So so I added some examples right here with the use cases. So we'll keep looking at these cases, but since the time was short, I couldn't show you all of them. So I've added few. But these are the various ways we can use Canva Sheets right now also in the classes. These features are available in India. Some of the features have been launched, but we are yet to get them. So we should be having them in the next 3 months. So the first one that ma'am has just now opened is a planner. And the prompt that I had given to Canva Sheet was that give me a planner for English grammar grade 8. That is it. So nothing else. So there is a breakup given. And Sangeeta ma'am, I think you can edit it. So the link is up to you. If I generate the link and I put it on view, then people can only view it. So if I wanted ma'am to edit, work with me in collaboration, no, see, this is open for commenting. So you can give access to your Canva sheet to somebody else for viewing, for commenting, even for editing. So when Rupali ma'am and we collaborate on some, Canva sheet planning or tracking, then we will definitely share the right to edit with each other because that's what we want. And maybe our HODs would like to just comment and not edit our work. And when we want our students to see, we would like them to view certain things and not give them the right to edit. So it gives us that total freedom. Okay, so that was just one example. This is a very basic looking example. You just wait for the next one. Yes, this is an assignment tracker. So now in a worksheet, we can color code, we can add images, and there is a drop down that is built in. So those features, you just have to open the sheets and try these out. Every feature is right there. So ma'am, you can just open one of the those drop downs and we can see whether we can also edit or it's very cumbersome. So like we can give a worksheet for this, we can give an essay for this, we can give a project. So this gives us an option to edit, modify our assignment for different grades also, and maybe from one section to the other, maybe from a different session to the next session. So you are not recreating your things. And this is something which a student can create for themselves. It is like you keep a deadline of what all is to be done, or this could be something that is created for the class so that every teacher is part of this and every student of that class is part of this. And you can just edit the drop downs. I just added more and more. I just said give me 20 lines of this, so it gave me 20 lines, but I wanted to add only 5 subjects, so I added only 5 subjects. That's all I did. The due date you can change, the status. Notice the teachers can edit the status. If you want your students to be part of this, they can also edit their status. We are going to look at that example also. Add more options right there for you. So you want to add another subject, just delete the option 6, option 7. You write down the subject. So maybe we want to do it in physics. Okay. Physical education. Great. Update. Yeah, it will update. So physical education has been added as a subject. So now we can create for that also. So we have created an updated sheet and we are going to update it, create a copy of it, create a page of it, add another page to it. If you notice towards the bottom, it says pages 1 of 1. So just like in spreadsheets, we could have multiple pages, we can have multiple pages here also. So maybe I create one assignment tracker for grade 8, another one just add, create another one for the next class. Ma'am, if you click on that arrow which is on adjacent, when we were adding pages, if you click on that arrow, right here you can add a sheet to it. or you can add a document, or you can add a presentation. So Rupali ma'am, in a spreadsheet, we could just add a spreadsheet. But right here in my spreadsheet, I can add the next page, which is a presentation, maybe a third page, which is a video. So the
It is
spreadsheet is no longer a
unbelievable.
spreadsheet. It is
Completely
it is
unbelievable.
fun. It is fun. And it's so simple. You just put on the plus, you keep adding whatever you need. You want another sheet? Ma'am, let's go on sheet and just create something. Right there, where you said plus, you can create from here also. वो plus के साथ that arrow gives us the advantage of adding what we want. So ma'am has clicked on the sheet, and it gives us an option of design right here if we want to change the design. Ma'am, click on any cell, it opens the AI writer also. Yeah, the actions. Let's open the actions, ma'am. These are the charts. We need to have some data for that. So we can generate a table. So if we click on generate table, we can give our prompt. Magic Write can again do a similar job of what we are doing. And bulk create, we'll come to it later. There's so much in Canva. Okay, Sanchita ma'am created something, historical timeline of the freedom struggle. Wonderful. So see, we are having fun
Yeah, I
now.
mean, this just took about 5 minutes to create.
And
It's
while
super.
you were attending your session, doing
Yeah, while I'm
everything, it
attending
was,
the session. Yeah,
yeah, that's the fun part. So teachers have to do so much. We better have somebody to help us.
yeah.
So
So
ma'am has
Canva is
opened
my
Magic, right?
friend for multitasking.
Sanchita,
Yes,
Sangeeta, ma'am, please
yes.
show it on the screen. That's amazing what Sanchita made.
Yeah, but let's see what Sangeeta ma'am just opened. She's just
Yeah,
opened
we can do
Magic,
that at
right?
the end. Yeah, yeah, we'll do that in the
Okay,
Okay,
end.
no
okay.
problem. So we'll open it. Just see, Magic Write gives you the options of whether you want to create a content calendar, creative request, and you want to create a keyword floor. There are hundreds of things it is letting us do, even giving us the prompts that what would you like to create. So even though we are kind of set to work on those, I can create these five things, I only need these five things, but it gives you in a platter कि कुछ और भी बना के देखो, try in your class. So why not? Few clicks. So give me top 20 countries by this. Okay, let's generate and see. Again, we can re-edit. If it gives us some output, we can generate it. So it will generate, then it will ask you whether you want it like this or you want it with a little change. Okay, we have countries working. See, more like this, or it gives a wonderful option of this but. Ma'am, if you click on this and but, let's open that. I use it so much because I don't like what AI does. So we say this, but add something more. But give me this too. But put them in ascending order, maybe. We can ask that. But put the, as per the GDP per capita, put it in
Yeah,
ascending order.
you can say
So it is up
GDP
to
real.
us. Now we can simply ask it to sort because it understands the functions of spreadsheets too. But today's topic was just our sheet, so we are working with that. Rupali ma'am, you should definitely try the magic
Wow,
formulas.
this is
Because if I
amazing.
don't know the Excel formula, I will simply write in English that I want this from my data. Please tell me how to do. So it will give me the magic formula also, explain also. Like Sangeeta ma'am showed that it created that quiz, but also gave the explanation of how the answer is coming. Same way it will show. Did we lose the data by any chance?
It did populate it with the data. It just gave this, so we need to check this out again,
We
perhaps.
will check with the prompt. Yes, we will
Yeah.
definitely check with the prompt. Or we can simply say sort the data in terms of this. So it will use that term sort, which is a technical term for it. So I think we'll have to try our hands. It was great. So there is so much that we can create. Oh, video game.
So
Give me top
maybe
20.
let me make this number to be less. Let's see,
Let's try it.
and
Let's
not
try it.
change anything and see,
Let's
because it
try it.
did generate, even it gave the flag. So see
It
here.
gave the flag. So the
Yeah.
image part has also been built in.
Yes.
Now we can
That's why
change
I
those
thought,
images.
yeah, I wanted to let that be, and see, here it is. So
Wow.
you've got the data as well as the flag, etc., etc. But again, I think Neha will guide me. But if I now want to suppose arrange the column A alphabetically, I'm sure I can do it. I can see the sort here, A to Z happening. So I can do that as well.
And
Did
it
we see
it
that?
selects the entire data. It doesn't work
Yeah.
like our spreadsheet used to. वो jumble up हो जाता था data, that it doesn't do. It understands that because AI understands that what we are trying
No,
to
no,
do
it
is
will
this.
sort the whole thing. Yeah.
Yes, yes, it
Yeah.
does that.
Nice. Very nice.
Okay, so this was one example, and we moved from one to the next. This was about classroom planning and management. Same way, we can have event planners, we can have duty rosters, progress tracker. And this is not just that the teachers need to create, even the students can create in groups. So I think the next slide is more for the learners. Yeah. So this is what the teachers can work for. The educators would need to do it in their classroom planning, and the students can use it. No, this is again for educators. This is assessment rubrics. The code is also the same. And let's go to the previous one once. The rubrics are really interesting. Sangeeta ma'am, the previous, yeah. So I also added the. We are going in the two slides back.
You okay? We'll just do that. My phone
Yeah.
was ringing, so
No
I
problem, ma'am. So this
this
one.
one.
So
Yes.
see, I have also added a link. The link is there. Yes, ma'am can access that. But I also did those steps. And ma'am, can we see the video recording? Because I wanted to show to the teachers that I have created it on the phone since I was not carrying my laptop and opening it everywhere. So if you just let the video run, so I was on the screen. We can maybe replay it so that they understand what this complicated thing looks like. So this
There
is
you
the
go.
home screen, and I just went to sheets, clicked on the sheet. It took some time to open, and you can see my video recorder, screen recorder right there, because that's how I did. And then I gave it, I did not even use Magic Write or AI. I just searched for what possibilities are there, what can I create. So it gave me this option. See, if you notice, it is not just for educators, and it is going to be a game changer for the marketing world because you get ready made stuff made here. So then I got this, and then I just checked, and it is 100% customizable. So you have the name of the child, the picture of the child, and you're giving the coding. So again, that is different. See, number 5. So I will change that also to something. I was trying something different. So images can be added just like we use in Canva. So since spreadsheet used to be a different feature, we had to go to insert and look for the image, then add, and then cropping it and sizing it used to be tough. That has become very simple when we have the design element built into it. So these were the descriptions, and I have added another option 6. So it's a simple drop down. We can do whatever we wish to do with the drop down. So I said this student needs attention and I'm not going to grade. So I felt like adding, and it gave me the option of do I want to change all the drop downs. Imagine not doing it in my 5 rubrics. It just does it for all of them. It was amazing. So I
Yeah.
was also surprised. And again, if you see Rupali map, this gives me a chance of sharing it. So from here, I just copied the link and I put it in the presentation. You can put it in your website. It also gives an option of embedding it, because embedding and adding the link are different technically. So for a lame person like me, it works the same way, but I understand embed is different and the sharing of the link is different. So I did all of that just by
This
that,
is
and
a
the link is
complete game
exactly.
changer. Yeah.
And again, some
So
more examples, because as educators, when we were sitting and we discussed about hum kya karenge sheets ka, so we also found these examples that the teachers, the science teachers were very happy, and they said, "Oh, it's very easy, hum sara observation table isme banayenge." So that gave the maths teachers also ideas. हाँ हमारी भी table तो इसमें बनी जाएंगी. It is easy. So the interesting part were the vocabulary log, which my Sanskrit teacher said, वो भी हो सकता है. So I said, you will have to try because available hai, but that Sanskrit element they are still working on. They have done like 32 regional languages now Canva is working with. The translate feature is there. With AI, that has become easier. But Sanskrit, I haven't tried. So we are going to work on that. And the language diary. So you have phrases, you have idioms, you have grammar rules, you have examples, and now you have got images. So like our Hindi teacher used to give us ये picture और उस मुहावरा और उसका meaning, उसका sentence. So everything in the same slide. So it is no longer a spreadsheet. It is just a tabulated, beautiful looking presentation or video. I think this is how we should talk about it. So I added few more examples. Let's have a look. These were the subject specific applications. Again, there's no end to this. And this, I have forgotten what I created. Let's quickly have a video. So I think we're running out of time, ma'am. We'll take
No,
5
no,
more
no.
minutes. Okay, okay. We'll
It's
just
all
take
right.
5 minutes.
We
Fine,
are
fine.
happy to, extend the session.
Oh, great. And also
Yeah.
notice when we keep searching, it is not that we will get everything. It's not a Aladdin's genie because it always comes up with says it is sorry, what you're looking for doesn't exist like this. So that is where problem solving comes in. So you change your prompt or search differently or maybe use magic right to help you communicate your prompt well. So this is a very simple planner. This is nothing. This is a weekly planner, monthly planner. So I was doing it that it will be able to do this. And the best part is, since you are a GEG group, this whatever we are doing on Canva can be collaborated and attached to the Google resources. So my Google Calendar can also be mapped to this so that I get a notification right there because I've already added in my calendar that I have this session today, or maybe I have to visit someone there, or I have a meeting this. So, it's a genie actually for all of us. Yeah. So student centered work, collaboration is the biggest thing because when we were doing spreadsheets, definitely we have got Google Sheets, which are real time collaboration. We have a similar thing with the collaboration with Canva sheet. जैसे Canva में already चल रहा है real time collaboration, the sheets are no exception. So this is a group project tracker. This is really interesting, and I'm really looking forward to what my students do with this because I do a lot of group projects, flipped classroom lessons, and I make them work together. So I thought they will gain a lot more by doing something like this. So dividing the roles, assigning it to different people, giving themselves the dates, giving themselves the rating. Then the teacher comes in. We can also add a peer, assessment into this after the presentations. Again, it is all up to us. And you notice it was a very simple looking presentation. Did not add drop downs here because everything doesn't have to be very, very, complicated. So yeah, brainstorm board, that would be good because a brainstorm board will require images to be added. So it has to be a little informal also, which spreadsheet never was. Imagine who would open a Google sheet and collaborate and create a mood board or a brainstorming session. That is why we needed Jamboard. So now we have Jamboard, we have got spreadsheet, everything put together with our Canva sheets. So yeah, some of them are really dead after this. Yeah. So yeah, SEL again, a very, very important part of what we are doing as educators. So all the help that we need is most welcome. So if you notice, I just added 3 things which I personally try to use in my classes. A personal goal tracker for my grades 9th and 10th is a must. A gratitude log goes for every class. So the happy classroom that we follow in our school has a gratitude log in some way. And mood tracker, yeah, mood tracker, ma'am, let's open mood tracker and see, because this is what we are working with when we say mental health has become important. So mental health does not always mean that I as a maths teacher have to do counseling about issues. It is simply this: my student walks in, oh sorry, I think I attached a wrong
Yeah,
link.
I think this is not the sheet you wanted.
I'll share. So when we finish, I'll quickly show the mood tracker, and we can just create our own mood trackers also. I'll show you what I created. It was very simple. So these are the SCL and the well-being tools, and again we can just create them. It's like a 1 minute thing. So I think we are good to go with that. Let's have a look at the last 2 slides, ma'am, and we'll close this. टेक सम एग्जांपल्स, या अ वंडरफुल रीजन. वैसे अब आंसर देने की जरूरत नहीं है, बट देन as an educator, when I started, I had lots of doubts that what will I do with spreadsheets? I don't use them. So I've created this in Canva sheet itself, and I asked AI only to tell me that why should I magic, right, to tell me why should I, use Canva sheets and not the traditional spreadsheets. You should really read this, because it will give you a fair idea and very clear picture of what we are saying when we say Canva sheets is a game changer. Because if we have tried a few of these today, these are the possibilities. We can do so much more now with these. Yes. So I think it's going to be very engaging for the students, because I never used sheets in my classroom other than the time when I used to teach them the data part. When we say data handling and we are doing those bar graphs, histograms, continuous data. So as a maths teacher, I used tables only then. So I can very well understand that the other subject teachers never used spreadsheets. So they were only for the school record keeping. So now we have to bring it into the classroom. It shouldn't just be a good looking tool. It should be something that can help us interact more and create the content that we are actually working with. The content is all that an educator and a learner actually needs. So it is going to help us make that content look better, feel better, and make it more comprehensible. So I think that's why we should use Canva sheets. But still, since we were comparing, if you can show the last two slides, this is what the group that was working on the beta testing, we came up with these. But obviously we are not going to, the data analysts are not going to go to Canva sheets just now, because it is just started. It's in a beginner stage. So I'm sure they will come up with advanced calculations also, pivot tables also. But I think we were good enough with whatever we have got. So there's so much for us to explore. And I think we'll stop here, ma'am. So Canva
Sure.
sheets, yes.
Yeah. It's amazing, the possibilities are so many, and we have just started to explore. So I'm sure, you and other educators are also going to try them out. But would you want to share something from your side? I'm going to stop sharing the screen in case you want to open up the mood board.
Sure,
um,
sure. Let's do that.
that is something which is going to be of great interest.
Okay, let's go to Canva AI. Yes, that's my screen. Okay, so this is what you remember when we started with the session, we had asked it to do something. So it has created a version 1. So I can add my name here. See, it is right here also customizable. So I can delete it here when I use it in a design. This is the version. So when I put it in my design, I can edit all of this. So there is an about column, there is my journey, my achievement, my contact details, where we can add our LinkedIn profile links, whatever link, professional links that we have. So I am this person, I am this, whatever we want to add, your interest, I'm this, you can learn more about me. And notice, if we are unsure of how to work, it says when you think about those, the questions, I hope you remember those questions. So what's your name, and what field area, and what kind of a design would you prefer, since it's like a website, my personal know me website. So it says, while you think about those, I'll create a versatile personal introduction page which you can use. So you got that hand holding also. Now you can try customizing this with all of this. So it again says, would you like me to help you customize with your personal details? So that was version 1. So if you add anything now and you ask it to do it, it will create a version 2. But suppose we are okay with this, we go to use in a design, website. So this is for Rupali ma'am. Ma'am, we can directly take it to the website. It is directly being embedded there. So this is creating a website right now. If I just click on website now, it will create a website with I think I have already created one website, so it will put it there. But what I did for the session today was I just put it on a presentation, and see, we'll quickly have a look. So it adds it to the presentation, but this is for me. And if I share the link with any of you, then we can collaborate and work on it. But if I want to create it and
Neha, can
share
you,
it,
sorry, share that tab which you are now talking about? Because we can see only the website, right? Are you
is it done?
embedding it somewhere?
Is it done, ma'am?
Yeah,
Okay, so it opens it on a presentation. So this
yeah.
is where we are. So now I can edit it just like I will work with a Canva presentation. So if you want to learn more, you want to edit anything, this is right here. And if I want to share it now, see, there are zero visitors because I haven't created and shared it with anybody. So we can download it. We can assign if we are creating an interactive storytelling quiz, or like ma'am created that permutation quiz, then you can assign it also to your class. Yes, so I think we will work on that some other time. And we can also take it to the present mode. Definitely, I created a public view link and then I put it in my presentation. You can even download this interactive storytelling quiz and assign it to your class. It's up to us that what we want to work with that. So I think I'll go to the mood one again.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just check which slide. I'll just present one more time. Wait, share screen. I'll share my entire screen. It will save us some effort. Okay, yeah, screen visible.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see if I have. So it gives us this also. Since I have already clicked on code for me, but I am unsure of what all I can do. So it says, see what you can create. So I can create a digital birthday card that explodes, confetti, a simple countdown timer, an interactive flashcard game. So I think ma'am used this. An interactive historical timeline. I think ma'am used that also. A pricing calculator, then we have more options. So I can create a 3D game exploring it, a color accessibility simulator. These are the options that it has offered, but I created those interactive stories. I just typed in here and got it to do that. Yeah, so let me take you to the home page and let me find out where I created that mood thing. So this was the presentation. These are the assessment rubrics which ma'am showed you, and I created a video for that. This is the designing. This I had already tried, that demo thing which I was showing you. So it gave me some permutations and combinations of technology, sustainability, learning, and music. And I've also had also already told that I am this, and I like to explore this. So I'd given in a little idea, so it created like that. Now I can add in what I do with design, what I do with technology, and I also asked him to create a my portfolio. So now this is just a tab created. If I need to make it interactive, I will have to give the prompt like that. So it all depends on the prompts that we were giving, right? Okay, so that was one. Okay, this is, let's see, beyond poster, assessment, rubrics, lesson planner. Lesson planner we already did. Canva sheet we all did. I think I have lost it, but let's create it right now if we have time. Yes?
Let's see if you are, free to extend for 5 more minutes. We'll be happy to see.
Sure, sure. Let's try and just ask Canva AI to create a mood tracker. So we just open a spreadsheet. Let me close the other tabs. Okay. So it gives me some premium templates and it says you have already used the assessment rubric and this. So these are my recently used one. Let's see all of them. Oh, I already have a mood tracker. So see, it tells me whether I want to create a new page or replace. If you have been using it, then you will know that this is a very basic feature that it does. So, okay, let's start. template tracker, and it gives me some drop downs also. So how am I feeling today? So there are emojis that we already have, so we can add in the, see, there's an option for content and we can write the content. So we can edit each one of these. The days we have added, suppose Sunday we don't have, we can work on that. What made me feel this day? So, what triggered the student and what helped me? So, what techniques, tools, what activity helped me make that difference? So, I suggest all the teachers try creating a very simple mood tracker and sharing it in their class, because we have to build in the SEL, the social emotional learning, each and every day, to work on the mental health, our own mental health and our students mental health. So this was a very simple mood tracker already created by Canva sheet. It gives you more tips. So since it's just a new tool and you start using it, it tells you that these actions will allow you to do multiple things. And we have not worked with this magic charts. I'll quickly just have a look. So we used to create bar graphs all the time with spreadsheets, so that bar graph option is there. But we have got the pie chart option also, which was also there in spreadsheet. We have some interesting tools, the other ways of doing it. So maybe a circle chart. So those who have seen a Venn diagram, this will give you that impression. And the core skills are exactly the same, the core concept is the same. Then tree map is also very interesting, and you will see that it builds like a tree. So week 1, what happens, and then we have the other days built in like this. So under January, we have the days, under the days we have Monday, Tuesday and everything else, and how we are feeling. So there are multiple beautiful ways that we are using this data also. So not just generating it, but using it. Scatter and dot charts are also part of our Excel spreadsheets. So we have a progress bar, that is also a wonderful infographic if we try. And not just the chart thing, we also have something which is called magic insights. So why we need data? We need data because we want to draw some insight from our data and how to use it and what it means. So magic insight is something that will help you answer whatever you want your data to tell you. So we started by saying that Canva sheets is going to make our data tell stories. So this is where the storytelling comes. Unless you ask a question, your data doesn't tell you anything. Yeah. So I think for today we'll end here, and I hope you will all explore it. And maybe next time when we meet, we will have more options and multiple ways how teachers have used it. Maybe Sangeeta ma'am create a resource with the Google Drive wherein they can share what they have done after the session, so that we can all learn from each other, because we are all just starting. None of us has actually used it in the classroom till now, because for all the audience who have joined in, we launched these tools in May 2025 in India and all around the world. So it is only in May 2025 that we have these tools have come to our hands. So we have the entire June to try.
Absolutely, exactly. I think it was 8th of May when everyone got the access, and April was when the Canva Create happened. So yes, it's absolutely new,
Hmm.
and that was the intention, that we get an understanding of the possibilities, and now it's up to us as educators to explore, dig deeper, make it relevant, because tools are tools, but how do we make it relevant in our classroom, in the our work, whether it is personal or professional? I think that's up to us. But thank you so much, Neha, for highlighting so many features. As you did say, 1 hour is not enough, but even 1 hour plus is also not enough. We will continue to work, and as Neha said, this is our, for all the people who have attended and who will be watching the recording later, please share with us what you create.
Yeah.
Let us also explore along with you So do share in the uh, you know
On social media.
uh, maybe in our Instagram or in our on Twitter, or you can put it as a comment in the video itself. YouTube channel. Come back, watch the recording, try and share what you do. We would definitely would love to have that. All right. So, do you want to share something, Sanchita?
I'm not sure because the timeline came out very well, except that I
You want to
wanted
share?
relevant images with the timeline. So I was constantly working on the code, and now I've lost the code wala page. So I was kind of asking Neha where, if I want to go back to the code and maybe change a few sentences within the code, because I know I can do that. But I lost where
The
the code
prompt,
was.
you mean? Yeah. So the
Yeah,
history
yeah.
page, what I'll do is
So I'll
I'll
go back
make
to
a
the
video
history page.
and
Yeah,
share it with you, Sanchita ma'am. You can share it in your group, because then instead of just telling the steps, I'll just do it once and
yeah.
show you.
Because
So
in
where
the
we can
code, I
extend.
could also identify some small errors. So before
Mm-hmm.
I want to give it out to my students, I want to check everything, right? So otherwise, I was
Definitely.
very impressed with how a
Debugging.
1,000 line code thing was done within minutes. I mean, imagine a
Mm-hmm.
1,000 lines of code. And that happening in less than 5 minutes is amazing. So yeah, I hope our attendees today have also tried doing something on the side. If not, keep going along with the video, replay the video again, write down your prompts, generate something, and as Sangeeta ma'am said, share them with us via social media pages. Just write us a WhatsApp or an email, and we'd love to see what you are coming up with. And as Neha suggested, that we could actually have a bank of resources for all the teachers to kind of dip into and see what they could use, what they could pick up ideas, modify for their own particular set of needs in their own classrooms. And I think, I mean, I'm super energized. I don't think I'm going to be logged out today.
Yeah,
I'm going to be, yeah,
yeah. In
looking at
fact,
seeing some
big,
code
big
today.
thank you to you, Neha, for giving
Yes,
us so much of inspiration. I can
just
see
so
the chat
engaged.
and bombarding with appreciation. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you must have done your homework so well that the entire session was seamless. And we wanted you to just go on and on and on. We didn't want you to stop.
So,
And kudos to your energy. It was superb session.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And again, as it says, as Sanchita says, she's energized and excited. So I'm sure, as educators, I think this is, if your schools are still off, because we are addressing teachers from all parts of India. But this is the time when you can actually go down, as it says, it's called
rabbit.
the rabbit hole. But this time, go down the rabbit hole of Canva code, Canva sheets, and create something magical and share it with us. But wonderful session, and we look forward to continuing with this learning, continuing with exploring more of such magic of AI in all the familiar and not so familiar ways, creating something for our students as well as for all of us. So, thank you once again, Neha. Uh, Enjoy your trip and the rest of the vacations, and continue to do the magic that you are doing in the educators community.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
audience, for
ma'am.
joining us. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
dear
Bye
audience. Bye.
bye.
Have fun. Have fun with